So, today on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, listen, we want to empower your entrepreneurial journey with payroll, benefits, and HR management services. Yes, I know some of those things may not seem like they're cool and sexy all the time, but listen, we're going to be talking about it today with Sabrina Trimiew, who is with us in the virtual studio. She is an accountant and business alignment coach, and you're checking out episode 729 of the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Don't you move, don't you go anywhere. We're going to jump right in to a quick intro, and then we will be back to get the party started.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Charvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Charvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. Do you all know, those of you that are like faithful listeners and followers, you all know I say that all the time, right? Heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. Well, I got a notification this week from Chartable, and Chartable said that the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show was charting with the Apple Podcast in Uganda. So hello, those that are listening from Uganda. So make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Some kind of way we're popping up on your radar. And so thank you for those that are listening by way of Apple Podcast, all the way in Uganda, and certainly everyone that's listening. Listen, we can't leave out Spotify and Stitcher and Blog Talk Radio and those that hang out with us on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel because I know you like this content. And we are excited, listen, to get this party started. We know that, we know that YouTube is getting cranked up. Hello to my sister, Kimberly, Deborah hanging out over on YouTube. And yes, Uganda. Wow. Thank you so much. So shout out to being heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. You know, the goal of this show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we know we're going to continue to do just that. Go ahead and tag a friend and say, hey, you need to come in and check out the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. It's going to be good today because we're going to talk about, hey, we want to empower your entrepreneurial journey with payroll, benefits, and HR management services. Listen, anywhere that you are in your entrepreneurial journey, even if you are a solopreneur or a person of one, there is going to be great information in this segment. So you don't want to move. And I want to let you know that this segment is brought to you by our Platform Builder program. That is my trademark signature 12-month group coaching program that is for women entrepreneurs. We take a whole entire 12 months to work on your marketing, your visibility, and your branding. So if you're saying, hey, I want to really be positioned, I want to position my expertise with a polished visual brand, you need to check out the Platform Builder program. If you're saying, hey, I want to be positioned more to do more speaking engagements, be prepared for media, seek media, the Platform Builder program is a great opportunity for you. If you're saying, hey, I want to put my expertise, my transformational story in a book, and I've been thinking about doing that and want to become an author, check out the Platform Builder program. We just finished on Saturday brand photo shoots. That's one of the things that we do as a part of the program, an amazing brand photo shoot. So we did 4 for our 4 Platform Builder clients on Saturday. We've done some in the past. We got some coming up. So jump over to platformbuilder.biz. We are enrolling for June. Thank you for the hearts that are coming on in. We are enrolling for June. Hey, girl. Hey, Gwen. Thank you for being over in our Facebook community. And so platformbuilder.biz is where you want to go. You can find out all the details. You can check out some client testimonials. I'll play a couple of them during this segment as well. And so you go over there and check it out. All right. So let me go ahead and bring our guest up. Welcome to those that are coming on in. Today's topic, empower your entrepreneurial journey with payroll, benefits, and HR management. And listen, Sabrina is ready to come on up to the mic. So let me bring her in to the studio. Before I do that, let me tell you a little bit more about our guest. Sabrina Trimiew is with us, and she created a small business that aligned with her life's purpose, which was to improve her life by being in control of her own future. And now she supports other small business owners in doing the same. This is why she started MarBrey Accounting Associates LLC and Nesting Ground Consulting LLC. So she is an accountant and also a business alignment coach. She earned her BS in accounting from Delaware State University. Shout out to Delaware. And she is a certified QuickBooks Advanced Pro Advisor. I'm a QuickBooks user. Shout out to all the QuickBooks users. If you are a QuickBooks user, type QuickBooks in the comments. Type QuickBooks in the comments. I'm getting tongue-tied. Type QuickBooks in the comments if you are a QuickBooks user. And really throughout her whole entire career, she has had the honor and the pleasure, and they've had the honor and the pleasure to have her work in various industries such as retail, banking, food and beverage, manufacturing, and environmental science. Lastly, Sabrina says, and she believes that every entrepreneur should have access to accurate and up-to-date financial information. All right, so let's talk about the money. Somebody type money in the chat. Somebody type money in the chat. Let's put our hands together, clap it up right now. And Sabrina Trimiew comes up to the stage. Hello, Sabrina, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I am doing well. We are excited to have you here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. And so I'd love to jump on in and actually hear how your journey started. And so how did this actually get started? I know you had the epiphany of, I want to be able to control my own journey. And so take us back to that time period in your life.
So I had my degree. I was working in banking at the time. And I needed to make some additional money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came to the realization that I thought I had to be a CPA to do taxes.
Okay.
I did not have to. And so I went ahead and started my bookkeeping business in about 2016.
Okay.
So that's how
So bookkeeping. So I think you bring up a great point. So the distinction between, CPA versus someone with an accounting degree that can support you with bookkeeping. So for those that may be new to terminology or what have you, just to level set everyone, what does a bookkeeper do?
So a bookkeeper does more of the day-to-day management of the transactions, where an accountant will do a lot more analyzing of financial statements, preparing those. They may also be able to do like audits. So depending on the company, if it's a larger company, it's a lot more separate. The roles are a lot more separated. When you're in a small company, sometimes, you're a small person that kind of can do a lot of doing both. So.
Okay, great. And so with bookkeeping, did you find, what types of clients did you find out that you were working like best with?
So the funny thing about that was I pivoted to bookkeeping because I did actually start off trying to do taxes, and I realized that people weren't ready for it to get their taxes done.
Ah.
They needed more help with bookkeeping. And so that kind of pushed me into the bookkeeping direction. So client-wise, I get people through QuickBooks Pro Advisor and kind of just, hear them out, see if I can help them. And I haven't niched yet, so.
Okay. But that was really smart to identify that need of, hey, people do need their taxes filed, but however, the bookkeeping piece, which, itemizes your expenses, also is like capturing where all of your income is coming in, that piece is needed before really effective taxes can be filed. So let me jump in front of this and help people with that. And so that was really super smart. Welcome to all those that are coming on in. We're hanging out here with Sabrina and we are chatting about money. Type money in the comments, and we want to empower your entrepreneurial journey with payroll, benefits, and HR management services, no matter where you are on your journey. So even if you're like, oh, I'm a solopreneur, stick around because we can speak to you as well around that. Welcome. And if you're over on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Okay. So, MarBrey Accounting Associates. So bookkeeping, you've been really focused there. So let's kind of start with the payroll, like this kind of payroll piece. So when does a business need to be thinking about uh, being on payroll, where they are set up for payroll?
Okay, so you should have payroll if you have employees. So as a business owner, unless you're an S corp, you don't get you don't put yourself on payroll. So if you're an LLC, you would have payroll if you want to hire someone. So that's where you start. That's where we start with the payroll process.
Okay, great. And hire as in a W-2 employee that works with you versus a lot of times people use virtual assistants, contractors. They would not be they would not be the ones that you're referring to as far as hiring. Is that accurate?
Yes. So yes, this is people who work for the company. Now, with the payroll software, you do have the opportunity to pay contractors through it. But when we're talking about hiring and payroll, we're talking about specifically you being the employer of the individual.
Great. So if you're LLC, that's being taxed as S corp, and it's just you, then one of the requirements is you have to be on payroll, right? All right. And so people probably feel like, oh my goodness, like I don't even know where to start with that. Like if somebody is, making that step and deciding, where would you recommend that they start with either a payroll provider or systems that you recommend?
So the great thing about being an accountant is you have your partners, and so I partner with a couple of payroll providers, and it's a good idea to ask around, see what they have to offer. And so I like ADP. Gusto is a great company as well, and then QuickBooks Payroll. So you just you want to kind of see what your needs is, see what your budget is.
Okay, great. And so I use Gusto, and so like you said, depending if you have an accountant, they'll probably have some partners and can recommend. So you mentioned ADP, and I'd love to know over in the chat or wherever you are hanging out. Thank you, Elmira. Type money in the chat. Thank you over in the Facebook community. Wherever you're hanging out, if you are already running payroll for yourself or team, let us know like what system, what service you're using. Okay. And with payroll, should someone be thinking, how do I make a decision between should I just hire not hire, but acquire contractors versus I need to get an actual employee and start running payroll? Or do you have any guidance around that?
So the guidance around that is actually, if you go to the IRS website, so IRS determine there's rules to how we classify employees and contractors, and so that's like one of the first places you want to go. There's like financial control. An independent contractor has more control over how much they're charging, how they handle the task. They may have a deadline. Whereas someone who works for the company, they would, they have to follow your policies and procedures to the T. They're just under your, they're working under your guidance. So those are just some of the things. The IRS website do a great job at going into details about that, but so does being when you go start looking into payroll services and you start actually consulting with someone, you can get a lot more details.
Awesome. And when we talk about hiring and payroll, that can be full-time employee or part-time employee, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Seasonal as well. So I mean, your children.
Okay. So let's talk about that because I actually was having a conversation with a client today. One of our platform builder clients mentioned, "Hey, sometimes my children, are working for the business, and so I know there's like a lot of information out there. So what does that look like? As best you can, and let's put an asterisk and a disclaimer that Sabrina is not your accountant. Please seek, guidance and all of that. But generally, whatever is out there related to, the IRS regulations. When can you pay a child on payroll or as a contractor?
Okay, so the general age is about 7. I mean, nowadays you think about pay, you think about the social media platforms. I mean, kids can perform on there. They can be advertising. So,
Listen,
I
they
mean,
know how to do reels. They know
you
how
know
to do.
that's up to, but so like the age is 7, and you want to make sure that they're doing. They have job descriptions. They have tasks that they're doing. The reason why you want to put them on payroll is because you need to track their time. You have to track their time. You have to give them a pay rate, and you have to pay. There are some taxes that have to be paid, but you have to be able to prove that you know you paid your children. And what better way to prove that than having a third party actually say, "Yep, we processed this. That money came out of the account, and it's paid out to your children."
Okay, wonderful. So 7 years. So as young as 7.
Yeah, that is one. That is, I mean, because if you think about a 7-year-old could shred. Like when my son was 7, he could open a mail, he could shred. Um, these kids are on these Chromebooks. They
There's
are
a
long.
lot. They have a lot of capacity. Okay, so I love so parents that are out there,
Mhm.
consider if you have children and consider what that, reach out to an accounting professional. Sabrina, what if someone's saying, "Hey, I want to talk more about this," how should they contact you?
So I have my discovery account discovery link, or you can schedule a discovery call. Find me on social. You can message me. Um, yeah, yep.
Okay, great.
I can DM me, say payroll, and we can talk.
All right, there you go. And if you're listening to the podcast version or over on YouTube, look down in the show notes, look down below in the show notes because the discovery call link is there for you. Also, you can jump over to Instagram as well. We've shown that on the screen for Instagram, but look down in the show notes and we have linked to Instagram and then also the discovery call to hear more about that. So I know some parents are like, their ears might have peaked up around that. And I also like that you brought up the fact around seasonal. So, sometimes we're thinking like, how do we get this done? And there are some, what are the benefits? So you could hire somebody seasonally as a W-2 employee. And then, so yeah, talk about that.
So I'm sorry.
Yes, go right ahead. Any other comments related to seasonal work?
Yeah, well, with seasonal work, you have an opportunity. Like if you think about it, now it's festival season, so there might be people out there who have food trucks and they need to hire people. So you have that option to use some payroll, and uh, a lot of people are scared to hire people, or they hire people and they misclassify them because they don't understand payroll. And I say, go ahead and get out there and get it. The cost benefit is really it's greater than the worry.
Yes, awesome. So, which leads us into the next part of this topic, which if you're just popping on in, hey, you're checking out the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. I am Charvette Mitchell, hailing from Richmond, Virginia. And our topic is Empower Your Entrepreneurial Journey with Payroll, Benefits, and HR Management Services, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey. So when you talk about payroll, the next thing kind of comes up is benefits. And so that oftentimes can scare maybe solopreneurs or even an entrepreneur that might have one other person working with them of like, hey, I can't compete, or they feel like I can't compete with these big businesses. But can you talk about what all kind of classifies as a benefit and maybe even where some small businesses have a upper hand in what we can offer as things that would classify as benefits?
So I mean, think about it. I work in corporate America, so we have PTO. So if that's paid time off, you can have establish a paid time off structure. You can give access to health insurance. You can give what is it?
And then while you're thinking of the next one, something like that PTO or even like virtual working, that's a benefit, you know?
Anything that is, you can legally sweeten up the deal for someone to want to work with you. A lot of people now, if you'll notice a lot more that people are more concerned with how their business that they're working for makes them feel. And so if you can give, so maybe you can't give more money, but you can give a little bit more time off, or you can be flexible. Like your benefit package you can make it as creative as possible within the rules. But that's the great thing about being an entrepreneur is you can flex, you can decide how to offer and how to attract good employees.
Absolutely. So that could look like, every Friday the office cuts out at 12 noon, and like that, like you after 12, no one for your company works. Or even casual dress, like people take for granted. Casual dress is kind of like that. Every company doesn't offer that, and virtual or hybrid where they get to work from home some. And I mean, after the pandemic, right, all of these traditional kind of businesses that let people go home, now they're pulling, they're trying to get them to come back, and people are like making decisions like, I have adjusted my life to this virtual space. And I think that is a key competitive advantage for small business owners when we talk about this hiring and a benefit that we were more acclimated to than a bigger company.
And I do want to add, because I left out, like, so, and that also includes health insurance, health and 401ks, retirement plans as well. So for me, when I partnered with ADP and I was talking to my rep, he really opened my eyes out to the fact that there are affordable options out there for small businesses, and it's important that we are aware of them and how we can use those things to take care of ourselves and take care of our people. We are capable of offering the benefits that big, larger companies are offering as well. And so we should tap into that.
Yes, great point. So there are options all available. Again, as people are listening, go ahead and give your contact information and how they can reach out to you and the types of services that you offer.
Okay, so you can reach out to me at Sabrina, Sabrina, at MarBrey, MarBrey.co. You can email me there. My phone number is 804-608-6760. And I'm on social, so you can reach me there as well. I offer accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, payroll services, and I do some consulting. And with Nesting Grounds, I am training people how to do their own bookkeeping.
Oh, wow. Okay, wonderful. And so you're based in Virginia?
I'm in the Richmond, Virginia area.
All right. Can you service people just in Virginia or outside of the state?
I can service people outside of the state. That's why I like to do the discovery, because we can talk and get a feel for how we can work together, and if it's something that's a little bit more, I can always phone a friend.
All right. I like that. I think that's a good spot, good segue to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I want to kind of finish out our topic related to like HR management services and thinking what are other things that entrepreneurs and small business owners can be thinking about in this space. So I'm going to let you relax in the virtual green room, and we'll be right back with you, Sabrina. All right. Thank you again for those that are all coming on in. This episode is brought to you by the Platform Builder Program, which is my trademark framework in a 12-month group group coaching program for women entrepreneurs. We are enrolling right now for the June cohort. They start calling themselves seasons, like reality show. So this will be season 8. Jump over to platformbuilder.biz. Jump over to platformbuilder.biz. You can see all the details, but more importantly, you can schedule a Zoom so we can have a conversation to see if this is a good fit for you, all related to elevating your marketing, your visibility, and your branding. And I thought I'd let you just hear from one of our clients that we are working with in the Platform Builder program. We're going to be right back.
So since being in the Platform Builders, I've had quite a few recent wins. One of them is I've actually assisted my client with publishing her book, so that was a major win for me. The other was launching my 4th book collaboration as a visionary author, so I'm very excited about being able to do that. And then the third one is I am in the very early stages of releasing my podcast, The Change Table. And that's very, very that's exciting and major for me at the same time, because I know that if I was not in this Platform Builders program, I would have continued to kind of procrastinate in that space. So that is a big win for me, preparing, just going through the motions to prepare to launch, and not just launch, but be consistent and have a strategy and a plan as it relates to launching my podcast. So those are some wins for me that I'm just very excited about. Also, it felt great to be able to do a brand photo shoot. That's a major win, just to be able to see my brand flourish in a different space, knowing that I am the face and I embody my brand, and doing a brand photo shoot has been absolutely amazing. So the Platform Builders has facilitated forward movement in all of those spaces in my business, and I'm just super, super excited about everything that's happening in this space.
All right. Thank you, Dio Greenway. We are so happy to continue working with you. Again, this segment is brought to you by the Platform Builder program. You just heard a little bit about her recent wins. So this is not like wins from 10 years ago. Like we're talking like in the last 3 months. And so jump over to platformbuilder.biz if you're saying I'm ready to elevate my expertise, showcase my expertise, get more customers, make more money by focusing on my marketing, visibility, and branding. Platformbuilder.biz. Look down below in the show notes for information. All right, let's keep it moving and bring Sabrina back in to the studio here. All right, welcome back, welcome back. So as we are kind of rounding out this conversation around really having entrepreneurs think about HR as something that empowers the entrepreneurial journey, not draining it, not taking it, but like it empowers it. What are final comments I would say related to just HR management services in general that entrepreneurs should be thinking about?
So the great thing now is that we have so many resources for HR management. A lot of those options are built into our software. I, for one, I'm able to offer that through my business. So what a task that would probably feel like a position that would probably feel like, oh my gosh, I can't afford to have an HR rep in my business. Having that person there who keep up with the laws to help you get comfortable and get out of a place of fear, and so that you can hire people and understand the requirements that comes with hiring people and keeping up with those ever-changing laws. This is why HR management is important, and it's one of the big add-ons. So all of these payrolls to start, then you have your benefits, that's an add-on, and then you have your HR, that's another add-on. And so it's kind of, you grow with it, right? So
great. And like wherever you are, one person or you 10 or 50 or 100 or what have you, it is a living thing. So HR, human resources, all of that is a living and breathing thing, no matter where you are on your journey. So thank you for highlighting that. So a shout out to those that are QuickBook users. If you are QuickBooks, definitely shout out in the chat. That is software that I use. We also use Gusto as well for payroll. And so really excited that you are a pro at that. And so, but then it also sounds like now you're in the space of teaching other people how to do their own bookkeeping and all of that. So tell us as we wrap up, like a little bit more with the nesting ground consulting, like what you're doing in that space.
So nesting ground was a pivot off of MarBrey Accounting Associates. I realized that a lot of my target market is not ready for a full service or a high level bookkeeper or accountant, and that they actually need a mindset change around managing your business. Accounting is like the task that's at the back of the line. People like to do it most of the time around tax season. So the goal around nesting ground is to kind of get people start where you are, get you a bookkeeping process in place, and allow you to do some of that stuff until you can afford to bring on someone. Because that's one thing that keeps entrepreneurs from managing their books is they don't know how and they don't have the support. So we want you to stay in business by taking control of your finances.
Great. So there's options all over. So if it's like, hey, I'm not at a place of hiring a bookkeeper, but I can learn to do QuickBooks myself, set up QuickBooks, categorize my expenses, making sure I'm bringing in all of my income. And so here's the thing as we really wrap up. This benefits if you're going after loans, even grants. So there's Mitchell Productions. We were excited to win a government contract related to providing services for people who were winning grants in Fairfax County. And one part of the grantees had to put in as a part of their grant application was, did you have a loss during a certain period of time related to COVID? Well, if you're not tracking your expenses, you probably did have a loss, but you can't show it. Versus someone who's using like a QuickBooks or Waves or whatever could go back into profit and loss statements or information that's in the system to be able to say, yeah, I did it. My income was here. And then after COVID, it was here. And so that's why I'm really highlighting this so that we are prepared for grants or loans or things of that nature where they are asking for sometimes just they want to know what your total revenue is. And so if you're not tracking it, then you're not able to respond back and say where you are, like as of today type thing. Yeah. Great. Well, it's been great chatting with you, Sabrina. And we certainly look for much more continued success. Thank you for all that you do in Richmond. I know you hosted a co-working event. Are you going to be doing more of that? What does that look like?
Yes. So I will be hosting one every month of the first Wednesday. So I have one coming up in June. And for me, that's just a space where we can come get out of our offices and actually focus on a task and get some stuff done in our business and meet up with other business owners and, get that support, because sometimes it's just like, you feel like you're by yourself.
Great. And I met you personally. So shout out, you're in our Facebook community, Marketing Tips with Charvette. Hey, girl. Hey. But I met you because you hosted an event and brought in ADP. So representatives from ADP. I already had Gusto, but just wanted to hear, and be enlightened around what they had to offer. So I attended your event for that. So I thank you for all that you do. And last question for you. The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. What continues to motivate Sabrina?
The tremendous amount of opportunities that are out here. So many things that I can do, and it just keeps me motivated to keep on pushing.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all the great work you're doing, and thanks for stopping by the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye. All right. It is a wrap for today. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Even if you're watching later, subscribe. If you're checking out the podcast, wherever you are, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Give us a good rating while you're over there. Certainly those that are just checking us out on charvette.com, Blog Talk Radio, we thank you and appreciate you. Again, this segment was brought to you by the Platform Builder Program. We are open for enrollment. This is season 8. So we'd love to have you in our June cohort. It goes from June 2024 to May 2025. I'd love to work with you on your marketing, your visibility, and your branding. And so I'm going to actually wrap up just sharing one other client testimonial who we're actually just finishing up working with, Vanera. She wraps up this month, started last June. And so thank you so much for being here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Check out one of our clients in the Platform Builder program.
My experience with Platform Builder has been phenomenal. When I first began this journey, I was not sure if this was the right path for me. I looked at the cost, I looked at the time involved, I looked at my own personal schedule. Then I looked at some of the testimonials. I read her website, Charvette's website. And then, yes, I realized this was the thing for me because I wanted to increase my visibility. Using platforms, I want to increase my business in and of itself. From the very first moment with talking to Charvette, I felt extremely at ease. I've known Charvette long way before now, but on this level, this was something different. I felt very at ease. I felt very comfortable, and then I realized this was the thing for me after our very first meeting. When we came together in our cohort, meeting the other ladies, learning from them learning from me, us just vibing together, going to the Hey Girl Hey conference, just being in this whole, I forgot the most important thing, was becoming an author, an author. I had never ever in my wildest dreams ever thought that will be a part of my life, and it brings me to a little bit of tears to think about what I have done. I have not been a huge social media person. Anyone who knows me knows that about me. They know that I'll get on. If I get on, I'm not posting anything that is of importance, of any relevance, or anybody else's business on social media, but this has given me the comfort to be able to share me on social media, share my business on social media, and share some of my expertise on social media. So by far, I'm just one of the best experiences of my entire life, especially professionally. I would recommend it to anyone who wants just the camaraderie. Just the camaraderie. When we do our photo shoots, come together. When we do our cohorts, come together. When we do group cohort, so our cohort with another cohort, when we all come together, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's just amazing that how women vibe together. Everybody always think that Black women especially, we are always angry. We don't want people to come together. We cannot come together. We cannot do anything to help. I'm here to tell you that's not true. So if you are looking for something to help you graduate your business, your visibility to the next level, I would 125% recommend the Platform Builder with Charvette Mitchell. Thank you.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Charvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.